Late one stormy night, Alex was driving along a desolate highway surrounded by dense woods. The rain poured relentlessly, making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. Thunder rumbled ominously, and lightning briefly illuminated the towering trees like spectral sentinels. As Alex navigated the slick road, a chilling sensation washed over them, and they noticed a peculiar detail: the trees on either side seemed to be moving closer together, as if the forest itself was conspiring to encroach upon the highway. Feeling increasingly uneasy, Alex pressed on, determined to reach their destination. However, the sense of isolation deepened, and the storm intensified. The headlights of the car revealed something peculiar in the distance, a small, flickering light, like a lantern in the woods. Curiosity compelled Alex to investigate. They pulled over and followed the faint, wavering glow through the rain-soaked forest. Branches clawed at their clothing as they ventured deeper, and the sense of being watched grew ever more oppressive. Eventually, the light led Alex to a clearing where they discovered a circle of hooded figures surrounding a burning lantern. Their faces hidden, they chanted in a language that seemed ancient and otherworldly. Alex's heart raced, realizing they had stumbled upon something inexplicable. Just as they tried to retreat, one of the hooded figures pointed directly at Alex. The chanting stopped, and the woods fell eerily silent. The hooded figures slowly turned their concealed faces toward Alex. Fear gripped their heart as they realized the truth: the forest, these figures, and the lantern were not of this world. These beings were guardians of a boundary between realms, and Alex had trespassed into a place where mortals were never meant to be. In the following instant, the lantern's flame extinguished, plunging everything into darkness. Panic set in as Alex fumbled through the woods, pursued by unseen forces. The storm raged on, but they could no longer hear the thunder or see the lightning. They were trapped in a nightmarish realm, forever lost among the shadowy guardians of the forest's eerie secrets. On a misty autumn night, Sarah decided to take a shortcut through the countryside to reach her destination faster. She navigated down a narrow, winding road shrouded in thick fog. The only light came from her car's headlights, which seemed to be swallowed by the mist. As she drove deeper into the darkness, strange occurrences began to unfold. Unseen hands tapped on her windows, and eerie whispers filled the air, beckoning her to stop. Sarah's heart raced as her imagination played tricks on her. Ignoring the unsettling sensations, she pressed on, determined to reach her destination. But as she turned a corner, her headlights revealed a ghostly figure standing in the middle of the road. It was a man in old-fashioned clothing, drenched in rain and mud, with a mournful expression on his face. Panicking, Sarah slammed on the brakes, narrowly avoiding a collision. She stepped out of her car, trembling, and asked the man if he needed help. He didn't respond but simply pointed further down the road. Curiosity mixed with fear, and Sarah cautiously followed the direction the man had indicated. She arrived at an ancient, overgrown cemetery hidden in the mist. The tombstones were weathered and covered in moss, with dates that stretched back centuries. Suddenly, she realized the man had vanished. Uneasy, she turned to leave but found her path blocked by a spectral procession of figures in old-fashioned attire. They marched in silence, their eyes fixed on her, and seemed to be heading toward a crypt at the center of the cemetery. Sarah had no choice but to follow the eerie procession, her heart pounding with fear. They reached the crypt, and the heavy stone door creaked open of its own accord. Inside, she saw an ancient, ornate coffin. The ghostly figures turned to her, their mournful gazes locking onto hers. As they slowly retreated into the shadows, Sarah felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Without warning, the lid of the coffin slammed shut with a deafening thud. Terrified and trapped in the darkness of the crypt, Sarah realized she had stumbled upon a centuries-old ritual, and her fate was now entwined with the restless spirits of the cemetery. The mist closed in around her, and the night became an eternal, haunting nightmare. As the clock struck midnight, John found himself on a desolate, winding road deep in the heart of the forest. The moon cast eerie shadows through the dense trees, creating an unsettling atmosphere. The only company he had was the rhythmic hum of his car's engine. John had heard whispers of strange happenings in these woods, tales of ghostly apparitions and mysterious disappearances. He had dismissed them as mere folklore until now. Suddenly, his headlights illuminated a figure standing in the middle of the road. He slammed on the brakes, and his heart pounded in his chest. The figure, clad in tattered clothing, turned slowly to face him. It was a young girl, her eyes hollow and lifeless. Her voice, barely a whisper, echoed through the silence, "Help me." John's instincts screamed danger, but something compelled him to step out of his car. As he approached the girl, he noticed an old, abandoned house in the distance, its windows shattered and the roof sagging. She pointed toward it. With trembling legs, he followed her gaze and reluctantly made his way to the dilapidated structure. The air grew colder, and the eerie silence was punctuated by distant whispers. Inside the house, John discovered a room covered in old photographs of missing people, their faces frozen in terror. Panicking, he turned to leave, but the door slammed shut behind him, trapping him inside. The girl's laughter echoed through the house as her once feeble form transformed into something sinister and otherworldly. It was too late, he had become the latest addition to the haunted photographs on the wall, forever lost in the darkness of the night. The forest road remained deserted, the unsettling legend of the haunted woods claiming another unsuspecting victim on that creepy, moonlit night.